All right, so here I was trying to find so I found this, I bought a saw for the sort of fallen tree. It worked really well, you know, right over here. We see that? It sliced pretty well, 15 bucks, great purchase. The rest of the tree, this is another tree that fell. But anyways, a couple weeks ago, or a week or two ago, I saw a massive branch after, I don't know, last week there was a windstorm, not a huge one. But I basically had a little handsaw. It wasn't that one. And I was able to get rid of most of the tree. Now that I'm looking for that handsaw, because I don't need the big saw that I just bought yet. Okay, there's a big branch I'm going to do later. But I can't find my handsaw, you know? I'm thinking that's the last thing I used it for. You know, the big branch out in the driveway that fell. And it was easy to do. And I have not seen that since. I must have thrown it away accidentally, because I usually take everything back here. I don't see it. But, you know, I'm trying to do I'm potting some plants. I know it's October, but, you know, there's a cactus that fell over and stuff like that. But anyways, I'm looking here and I'm seeing this crap, okay? And look at this. This is called water. Now, we can see, okay, so the pilot light was on and now it's heating because I've been letting the hot water out here. Okay. And, oh, we have new lights, by the way. Yes, this is, well, we'll talk about this later because I have another LED light video coming up. I haven't done it, but these ones look okay, but, you know, if you do it at night where it's like this, it's not so heavy, and you turn it off, well, stop. No, do what it doesn't come on automatically. Okay, we saw that. That's kind of annoying, but we'll do a whole separate video on that. But the point is, as I took out this the sort of cover so nothing gets in there, this blue cover over here, there was a wasp that fell out, I think, and I brushed it off my foot, and then I felt that, but it's an old one, so I don't think it stung me. I can feel the sharpness of the barb, but I don't think any poison's in there. But the point is, this still works. And looking at the shitty paint job here, I think there was water here before. I don't see where the water is coming. Like, I don't see any water on the bottom of it. You see? So I don't think it's some continual issue, but let me pause this. All right, so we're back, lights off, work light on. And you know, that's definitely water. I might just soak a rag here because it doesn't look like there's any water dripping. And given the shitty paint here, I think this has happened before. I don't know if it has, but again, the pilot light has blown up and it's heating, so that's a good thing. It's a bit rusty, but who cares? That's just how it's been. And again, I don't see any water dripping, you know? So I think this must have been just a little bit of water from God knows where. And if it still works, well, you know, again, there's no water dripping. So I don't know how long it's been here, and but this thing is actually almost exactly 40 years old. You see on the bottom, ANCI right here, 10/18/1983. So today is October 10th, 2023. So this is almost 40 years old. Now this house was built in 85, but this is old, you know. And you can see, this is a pretty decent thing. It has a good, well, first hour rating. I think that's how much water comes in the first hour. It's a pretty good number. But this has been here for 40 years, and yeah, I think I'm just gonna put a rag here. You know, is this the rag we wanna use? Yeah, it has holes in it, so let me turn the lights back on. And so yeah, that's a wonderful, fun expense, but I mean, we kind of knew this going in. The inspector, who wasn't that great, by the way, for the house. He kind of missed a couple things, but, you know, some obvious things. But, you know, he's like, oh, this is one of the oldest water heaters I've ever seen. I'm like, yep. But, so I guess if we just let that soak, oh boy, you know. Yeah, that's a lot of water. That's disgusting. Anyways, I think that's it for now. All right, so using this thing to turn off the water, I shoved in a towel under here. And so the heat is still on, so that's good. There's still a fire rolling in there. The problem is that when I removed this towel once before, I did see some water coming out. Now, I don't know if it's because the towel is pushing the water kind of backwards, because I can't really... We can try to see how much more I can shove it in there, but, oh boy, you know. Well, we can do a little more. I don't know if it's because it's kind of holding back the water. It's saturated with water there, and then the water starts flowing because there's excess water coming out, or it's a one-time thing. I'm almost certain I've seen water here before, but it's like whatever, it went away or something. I don't know. It's rained not recently, so, you know, you think there'd be... Oh, the pilot's on, okay. Well, the pilot's on, so that's good, you know. But it's no longer heating, because it's as hot as it's gonna get, right? But anyways, let's pull this gently out and see what I'm talking about. The water kind of slowly dribbling. Again, it could be that it's just oversaturated here, you know, and then the water that wasn't soaked up is just coming back out, and it's not extra water coming out. Because again, apart from the damage here, I didn't see any water going anywhere, and I don't think it's going right. Well, let's see here. Okay, I think most of the water is sucked up, so I don't even see that anymore. That's a good shot. I also don't want to put a box fan here to dry this up because, you know, I don't want to fuck over the pilot light. Oh boy, there we go, you're still there. So I'm not seeing any extra water here. There's no pool of water. Let's see if we zoom in. It's wet, it's damp, but that's because again, when I removed the towel the first time that I didn't video, there was water coming down slowly, you know? And again, I don't know if that part of the towel was just so saturated that it was just holding back some water, and that's what was drooling down. But I don't see any of that. So that leads me to think that we have most of the water sucked up in the towel and there's no continual water leakage. Mm-hmm. What's this? Like, does that seem wetter than it should be? Or, I mean, this is wetter than it should be right now, but is it getting worse? And unfortunately, I don't think I can answer that because I don't see any water coming. All right, so video number 3. I'm not sure if we're gonna capture it on video, but if I may have mentioned it in the last video. Oh, I'm falling backwards. I may have mentioned in the last video, and I definitely didn't just go back and edit it, but I mentioned how the legs seem kind of wet, and I noticed that there was a drop of water going down over there. And so let's zoom in a little bit. You see that? And there's no other, okay, of course, wonderful, there we go. That's water, right? And I don't know if we'll catch the water going down, but it's basically rusted. Oh, you see it right there. Hold on. You see that? Ah, there we go. We caught it. So I noticed that a couple of minutes ago as well. It's sort of pooling at the bottom of it, you know, like that. It's pooling here as well. You see the kind of base rusted. So I looked online. If it's not this valve, if it's not the water valve, the outlet thing that's leaking there, if it's not the drain that I'm sure that's never been used, if it's not that, it's probably the tank itself, you know, and it's just rusted out because it's almost 40 years old. So it didn't quite make it to 40, and it's just past 5 or 6 p.m. and it's not an emergency, you know. It's probably been like this for a couple of weeks, a couple of days, because I don't know the last time I looked here. It certainly isn't. It's not so wet that it's you know, destroying everything and pouring into the garage. But you can see a drop or two. And in the last, I don't know, I haven't seen it, but let's say in the last hour, you know, we haven't really seen much water except pooling over here. That's the water we've seen, a drop or two every couple minutes or something. We're kind of lucky that we saw that. But the point is, you know, the pilot light still works. So I have hot water. Hold on, let's see that. Yeah. So hopefully there's no massive disaster coming from this. And again, this has probably been like this for days, weeks maybe, which means you also have to replace the wood here. But the people who did the water line, they seem pretty decent. They also fixed the toilet upstairs that still doesn't work because of other issues. You know, but that's it. I mean, when I moved in, I was like, yeah, this is an old water heater. We're gonna have to replace this. So I'll call them tomorrow. The water line people who did a decent job on that, they didn't charge an arm and leg on that. So hopefully, you know, we can negotiate a better price. Because, you know, it's like, oh, a service fee. It's like, okay, I'm gonna ask 3 service fees to get the same kind of quote. Ugh, you know, and it's a replacement. I mean, this is not, because again, you can see the water here as I'm, yeah, that's, you know, even if the leak is so small that it doesn't cause the water to pool below, it might be just enough to where it starts corroding the rest of it. The outside part of the tank there's an inner tank in these things. And this is just a little cover. But yeah, we're just gonna have to do this. I mean, I guess I've been pretty lucky that for the 4.5 years I've been here, this has still maintained itself. So, but yeah, I mean, this is just what it is. It's an old tank, and this is not some leak coming from somewhere else, or this is just a leak, right? You know, and I'm sure it's not a big deal to replace the kind of rotted wood there, and who knows. You know, maybe they can even cut this dry, because I'm thinking I want to match at least this, and you know, they can maybe cut this out, the wall, because I don't know why this is how they did it, right? You can put whatever here, but I don't know why they restricted this wall here. Like, this doesn't, right? Like, why is there a wall here? You could, because if you need to put something bigger in here, then I don't know. We'll figure all that out. I'm sure we can do something around the same size. Because the only thing is in the winter, especially, of course, these things never go out in the summer when it's still hot. It's just when it starts to get cold, and same thing with the AC, right? Anyways, my point is, yeah, I just want something that's about the same. You know, I thought maybe switching to the always hot water on, but there's issues with that, and there's no point. This is good enough. In the winter, when I like to take hot baths, you know, this has been perfect. There's just enough hot water to fill the tub, and then you can wait a little bit and it replenishes it quick enough. So whatever matches the size and the first hour rating thing, that's good. Anyways, I think that's it. We'll update the progress on, you know, the replacement. I'll take some videos of that. Obviously, I'm not going to be doing that. But we'll take some fun videos of that, and that's another video. Well, we'll figure it out.